Welcome to the table, everyone. Today we're going to play Sergeant's D-Day. As we start to wrap around back to June, I figured might be good to go ahead and get some D-Day type of stuff games going, and specifically I figured I'd look at this here scenario. We're going to do scenario 2 from the book. I think last time when I played on YouTube, I had mostly just played scenario 1 to kind of get a feel for the game. But I figured it's only been like a year or two. Might as well move on to the next scenario for YouTube. So we're going to do breakfast. So this is like, today is May 24th, I think. May 23rd. Hold on. I mean, so we're still, a couple weeks out, but yeah, it's May 24th, so I figured it wouldn't hurt to get in a couple games. I have like Crowbar and some other stuff that I want to try and play a little bit on there. But we figured, we as in me, we'll do scenario 2, breakfast. So June 6, 1944, dawn. Sergeant Harrison and Private Fields are out looking for a hot meal. Maybe the farm up ahead will have something. So we got Sergeant Harrison and Private Fields. We'll take a look at the other soldiers we have. German characters, there were no German characters involved. 2-player forces. The United States has 18 victory points worth of troops, and the German player got 20 victory points worth of troops. So we'll take a look at who we have. Plus they got to bring 1 leader. Then the orders, I figure we can look at those right now. This is going to be the secret objective. So what do we got on camera here? So we had to choose from a patrol, another patrol, and then here was a recon. What we'll do before we won't look at all the cards in depth. What I'm going to do is randomly pick, and then we'll look at the randomly chosen one. I don't know how well shuffled that is, but we'll take this one. Other 2 get set aside. So for the Americans, they're going to have patrol. They're going to enter the map using area Y, which is up here. And they're going to exit on area C, way down here. So they're going to go across the board. And if they do, they get 18 victory points. And then prisoners gain 7 victory points for each captured enemy. I don't know if that will happen. We usually end up just shooting everybody. Yeah, win that way. Okay, let's take a look at the German order since we're looking at them. Alright, so here's the 3 to choose from: the skirmish, skirmish, patrol. So here we go. Where it stops, nobody knows for sure. I know, I'm probably not even really shuffling these like I think I am. But we'll take this one. They get a skirmish. Enter on turn 2, enter at any unused entry area. Kill or capture all enemy soldiers encountered. Success gains 23 victory points. On turn 2, at any unused entry area. On turn 2, enter at any. So do we not enter on turn 1? Well, I guess we just come on at any point we want. We'll think about what that means. Okay, I'm going to move the camera around. First, what else is there for the scenario? I didn't purchase any equipment. I could have purchased grenades, but I bought soldiers. So we're just going to have soldiers on. So no special instructions. All soldiers that have not entered the board by the end of turn 4 are removed from play. So we got to get everybody onto the board as soon as possible. Which means for the German player, on turn 2, I guess they come in on turn 2. So there's 1 turn of Americans moving around the board, and then turn 2, Germans will come on, but they get to pick any point on the board except for area Y, because the Americans will own that one coming into it. One thing I will point out, because I know some people will notice things, I have, over the years of ownership, lost one little map edge. I have no idea where one little map edge went, and it's really bothering me. I looked through all my pieces and kind of scoured around for it, but couldn't find it. So yeah, if you notice that it's missing, and it's an eyesore, I don't know what to do to fix that. So yes, the map will look weird. Since we're speaking of the map, I do have it sideways here, but we got some crops here. Here's the farmhouse where the Americans are going to go looking for a meal, apparently. So we're going to cut through the farm area on our way to point C. Little swampish area here, and then some wooded areas here, and you've got a road coming through. Fortunately, no vehicles. I think, now that I looked here, I think I've got that flipped wrong. Hold on. The road looks off. Yeah, that's supposed to be 10B. I don't know what I was thinking there. Let me fix that real quick. Then we'll take a look at some troops. There we go. That is more appropriate. I guess I could have paused the camera for that. You're watching stuff, I guess it doesn't need to happen. Okay, I'm going to pause real quick, swing around. We'll take a look at the troops involved, and then we'll come back and start playing. Here's the American board. We have Staff Sergeant Harrison. He's going to give us 2 cards, so when we do our drawing, we'll have 5 cards in our hand for the Americans. He's worth 6 victory points. He's also bringing Private Barstow with him. He's worth 4 victory points. And then we have just Private Rogers, 4 victory points. And we have Private Fields, 4 victory points. So that's who we're bringing for the Americans. We have their draw deck ready to go, and they have their order, which I can just leave face up, because when you play solo, you kind of need to know everything that you got. And that's the Americans. For the Germans, we're bringing Feldwebel Thielen. And I will tell you this, I messed up. These cards are pretty thin, and when you first use them, they're kind of stuck together. And so for a while, Feldwebel here, he had one of his cards was one side was the wounded side, and when you flipped it over, it was one of his actions. And just, I don't know what happened, but what it was is 2 cards were stuck. These cards are really thin, and when you first get the game, the cards, a lot of them stick together really badly. So for like 2 years, I had 2 cards for Thielen stuck together, and I had no idea. Or a year, however long I've had this. And just now today, when I was trying to find units for the German player, the 2 cards that were stuck came loose, and it was like, oh my goodness, I thought I had a busted set all this time. But no, it was just me for, just, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't have told you that, but there it is. True story. The cards stick together really well. So if you pick this up, you got to spend a lot of time separating all the cards. In fact, I'm thinking of sleeving them, which will help prevent that in the future. I mean, they're separated now, but anyway. There we go. Then we got Kruger, Gefreiter, Kruger, and then we have Soldat Schultz and Soldat Kortig. Now, Thielen will give 3, draw 3 cards, so that will give 6 cards to the German player. They will have initiative for most of the game unless we can kill Thielen, and then the Americans will have more. So Germans will pretty much have the initiative unless something happens to this guy. Let me see if his wounded side, yeah, he still gets 3 cards. Also, he has an ability to hold 1 card, so if needed, he could hold a card under somebody and keep that for later, which I will probably forget that I have that ability since I'm playing solo. Yeah, things are what it is. But that's what we have. We got 4 Germans versus 4 Americans today. And they are going to be battling it out over the farmhouse for a meal. Alright, well, I'll get set up to start. I've got the story deck here, raring to go. I forgot to look how many turns we have, but the game will probably be over before we hit all the turns. Story deck, we'll go ahead. Let's flip that now. Yeah, let's go ahead. Since I have you here, shoot or hide. Aha! We already have a random event coming up. Nice. Only one random event though. The random event won't happen on phase 1 ever, but you can have random events happen in phase 2 or phase 3. So when we get to phase 2, we'll read what that is. So what I got to do is take some time now to sort out what cards I want to use. I have to draw my cards, figure out who can shoot. The thing is, just looking here, there's nobody on the board, so no shooting or hiding will happen. So I'll use those cards, but they're kind of wasted actions. Same here with shoot and look and shoot and move. So really nothing's going to really happen until phase 3 when I can start moving troops onto the board. I tell you, this is one reason why a lot of people, I think, don't like this game. The randomness in what you can do is sometimes really kind of frustrating, but that can be offset by if you draw a card and it's got actions to do things that might let you move. Anyway, we'll look at it. It's never, oh, here we go. It's never always as bad as it might look at first, but there's our order. But that's what we got going up here first. So I'm going to go ahead, pick some cards, see what we can do, and then we'll start moving people around. Okay, be back in just a moment. All right, one clarification. You don't resolve the random event in the phase that it happens. All the random events get looked at in the play sequence. They get looked at before you do anything else. So it says, like step 1, draw your action cards, which I did. Then we revealed the phase cards, we did. Then we resolved the random events. Only one this time because landmark matched landmark. So marsh L2B, the highest VP soldier in the marsh, slips and breaks arm, soldier is wounded. Well, luckily we haven't even started, so there's nobody on the board, so nobody breaks their arm today. Then we placed our action cards. Well, we determined who had initiative. Starting out, reveal. Well, the person who had initiative at start was the German player because he's got more cards. Then we placed our 3 action. See, I'm looking at the play sequence. Now I just, I play this thing and then sometimes I get questions on myself. So it said determine initiative. And when I was looking here, initiative, it says each player counts and declares the number of cards left in their hand. So initiative is based on the number of cards a player is holding in their hand after placing their action cards down on the action deck placemat for the turn. But here, you resolve initiative, determine has initiative, and then you place your action cards. So it's almost like those 2 steps got backwards. I don't know why I never really caught that before. But here's the thing, and now why this is important. Because if you are playing your action cards and you're missing cards, like this is shoot, hide, shoot, look, shoot, move for that phase. Like for example, the German player had all move cards. So I had a shoot, I had a move, and I had like 1 shoot, and then I had like 5 move cards. I didn't have a look, so I had to discard all these move cards. These are all move cards here in the discard pile. And what it says is after you discard all your cards, showing that you don't have one of the missing actions, shoot or look, you draw cards and discard until you can get one of those missing actions. So I was lucky and drew a look on my next card. But here's the thing, what's left over in my hand for the German player is there's no cards left. So that would mean that initiative switches over to the American player because the German player no longer has cards in their hand. So I guess just today of all days I've realized, yeah, initiative is kind of weird. So I'm going to kind of just, without going to Board Game Geek or doing anything, I'm just going to say that based on the current situation of leftover cards in hand, based on play, the Americans have the initiative. So the German player had to place his cards face up to show the other person, me, that they didn't have, a look. That's why their cards are now up. But since the American player has initiative, we'll see what they have here in phase 1. Oof. Well, they did play a shoot. Now, we have 2 soldiers may shoot, but remember, there's nothing on the board. So these first couple phases are actually kind of busted. So he can shoot. He could shoot, but there's nobody on the board to shoot. Okay? Then we would look at phase 2, which has shoot and then look. Okay, well, Americans have initiative, so they were doing a shoot. But again, nobody. German player took a look. Nobody. Okay, so we need to hit phase 3, which is shoot and then move. Haha, now we've got something. American player with initiative will move. And he's got here an action that says 3 soldiers may move. Also, Sergeant Harrison, because this is the dog tag, he can do a move in addition to being one of the soldiers. So what I'll do is I'll probably bring on my other 3 soldiers and bring Sergeant Harrison on. I could have had like Sergeant Harrison move with everybody and then also had him come on or had him move again, but I think we're just going to have everybody move once. So let me get them onto the board. Alright, I was just seeing here, make sure I got all my little peoples here. They can all walk 1 square. I was making sure nobody had anything wonky. But he can have 3 equipment cards. Wow, these guys could carry a lot of stuff. Not him, he's pretty weak. And then if they ever get into a fight, they can draw a lot of cards for fight. But they only move 1 square. So remember, we get to move into area Y. So for the bubble action, we'll bring in fields. Oh wait, hold on, I don't need to bring them on yet. Nope, they have to earn the right to see that. So instead I'm going to bring on their hidden tokens. So there are now 4 Americans on the board, and according to the scenario story, they want to hit the farmhouse for food. That's just the scenario story. There's really nothing according to my order about the farmhouse, and it's possible that in the story deck there might be something that happens on the farmhouse if I randomly actually get that. So I'm gonna have to slowly move these guys that direction anyway. Now honestly, how I get to area C, I could go any path that I want, but the shortest path is probably just cut across. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, so that was their move. Then the German player, they can select 5 soldiers may move. Well, yeah, so I can bring everybody on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave 1 soldier off. That way on turn 2, I can enter in some other area. See, right now, area Y is off limits because this is being used by the Americans as an entry point. On turn 2, at any unused entry, so I could move, like I could have the Germans pop on here at B. Trying to show you things and can't really see it very well. I had them come on at B, and then we would be, so close to start shooting at each other. Or I could come in here on C and use that because the Americans have to come that way. We can we could just defend this one area they have to come out. Now, to be fair, the German player should not know that. I mean, how would they know? I mean, that's my secret order. I just know because I'm playing solo. So to be fair, I think what I'll do is maybe randomly determine where the Germans will come in at. Oh, good idea. Hold on, let me get a dice. Alright, we have 5 other entry points. So what I'm going to do is roll a die 10, and we'll start here. This will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 9, 10. So the Germans are going to come in on area A. Okay, but here's the thing. If I was the German player, which I am at this moment, I mean, I can see that there's a buttload of Americans there. So then it becomes a point of, since I can move 5, do I want to come in at that area? Yes, it's going to be a bloodbath. That's probably not a good area to come in at. Gee whiz, I thought I'd be clever and do that, but I tell you what. Okay, let's do it. You talked me into it. It's a bloodbath. You could almost say that these two wandering patrols... Oh, I don't need to put them on yet. I'm so used to putting little figures on. I forgot. I'm going to do these here. So we don't know currently who is who. Nice. Okay, this will be interesting. That's for sure. All right. Let me make some adjustments here, and we'll come back and see how this is going to play out. All right. Well, that would be the end phase. So really, I was just going to clean up the board here, but I'll show you what we do. All of the cards get discarded, so all the stuff I played here, that was my leftover hand of cards. That will go to the discard pile. And same thing for the German player. And then that goes here to his discard pile. All of the phases go away. Then that would be the end of that turn. So we'll advance the turn marker to turn 2. And then we draw my action cards. So right here, he gets 2 cards. And the scenario is a base draw of 3. So I'm going to get 5 cards here. We got a shoot card. Another shoot card. I'm going to move the order card out of the way so I can put the cards out here. He's got himself a move and a shoot. Luckily, I have enough of variety that I should be able to do something in every phase. Okay. I think the turn count is going to move up here off the side of the map. That way I got plenty of room to lay out my cards here. Okay, so here we go. Now, remember, he gets to draw 3 cards. That's 6 total for the German player. Gets a look and a shoot. Another shoot. A hide. And a move. Okay, perfect. And again, that should be enough that no matter what I draw for the phase, they can do something. I should be able to maintain. Now see, at this point, the sequence says determine initiative. At this moment, the German player has initiative because they have more cards. After I place my 3 cards for the phase planning, well, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, they get 6 cards. Hold on. 1 through 5. Here's card number 6, a move. So they're technically going to seize the initiative back. It was a real fluke that we drew so many move cards before that they lost the initiative. But let's draw the phase. So first phase is look and then shoot. Hide and then shoot. Look and then shoot. Okay, so just for those new, look and then shoot just means that all look actions in initiative order would happen first, then all the shoot actions. All of the hide actions would happen first in initiative order, and then the shoots, and then all of the looks, and then the shoots. This is actually pretty good because we're going to get to spot each other and then shoot at each other. Now, for this first phase, probably all that's going to happen is some spotting. And then someone could hide after being shot, or they could just start shooting at each other. And then here would be another opportunity for a look to try and, see people. So we're going to look. Probably no shooting this phase 1 because they're going to take a chance to try to see each other. Then somebody might decide to hide if they get spotted, and then someone will have to look. But you'll see how it plays out. It'll work this time for sure. Okay, so since the German player has initiative currently, since we have a look and then shoot, I'm going to play a look here. I have a look, and then I'm hoping that they actually look. I only have 1 look, but the rest of my phases can be shoot. So what we're going to do is hope that After we can spot somebody, we can spend 2 phases shooting and killing that one person. And now, I mean, I could hide. I do have a hide, but we're going to go right for shooting. So first phase is going to try to spot somebody, and then the rest of the time is we're going to try and shoot people. Okay, and then for the Americans, same thing. We're going to spend a look. Luckily, we had that. And then shoot, shoot, shoot. I have a lot of shoots. 1 soldier may shoot. I've got a 2 here. 2 soldiers may shoot. I guess that's a consideration here. Those are both, 3 soldiers may shoot. Here, we're gonna open this up so that we can get as many people shooting as possible. They're gonna do the same thing. They're gonna have 2 shooting, and then all I have is 1 left. And since the dog tag actions, those are all on the field, there's going to be a lot of shooting at that one person that we see. So we'll see how that plays out. Alright, so I was just double checking. Basically, after we do the look, if we can spot 1 soldier, which being this close to each other should be easy, what it says in the rules is that anytime that you shoot, you become spotted. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking is going to happen. Since the German player has initiative still, they had 3 leftover cards, I can actually just flip these over because all I need to know is they have initiative. We're not using those cards for anything else. But we're going to perform the look, and you can decide who's going to do the look. For instance, this guy's got 14. We're only like 2 squares away, so I think any one of these soldiers would be able to see any one of the Americans, because the way you do is you count distance. Distance is the physical number of squares between what you're doing and the opponent. So if I'm looking from here, distance is 1, 2. Then range is a modifier to your stats. So for instance, this guy's look is 14 squares. So I'm going to say that Schultz here, let's find Schultz. So first I would declare, Schultz, for instance. He's going to try and spot, I'm going to randomly move these around because I just looked and saw who was who. He says, I'm going to spot this guy. So what I do is I subtract the looks and the look here. So there's -2. And -1, so that's -3 look. So -3 look means I subtract it from here, so that's 11 squares, and there's 2 squares. So if there was a greater distance, say if I was trying to spot from here all the way up here, there's actually quite a few minuses between where I'm at and where the enemy is located, that it might actually bring how many squares he could see from 14 down to like 8. And then if I physically counted how many squares there were between those 2 locations, it might be out of range for him to see. But apparently this guy eats carrots daily and he can see 14 squares. I would really have to have a lot of look penalties between him and his target. So he has no problem seeing one of these guys. We're going to randomly roll. Man, I should get a die 4 for that. Okay, you talked me into it. I'll be right back. Alright, I grabbed an assortment of dice here just to help me make different decisions for things. So I've got a die 3, which this is probably the weirdest dice that I have, but there it is. A die 3, die 6, die 4, die 10. So we're going to roll the die 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2. So he spotted this guy. This is Rogers. Okay, they're done. That was the look action for them, this phase. Then they're going to look, and who's got their best look? He's got 12, 14, 15. Dang, these guys are eagle eyes. Okay, so that is Barstow. It really doesn't matter since Barstow is in this square. I don't have to actually find him. would only matter if I had, say, some units here and some units here. I would want to look and know where Barstow is. But as it stands, Barstow's in this square. And he's going to do the same thing. We're going to roll a die 4. 1. So he's going to try and spot, well, whoever, I shouldn't look at him, I flipped, but he's going to go for that guy. And so same thing, he's got to look at 15. So first of all, it's only 2 away. So it's like going to be guaranteed, like, oh look, I see them. But I would subtract 2, 4, that brings his 15 down to 11. So that's well within his ability to see. So he spots that guy. Okay, perfect. Which is their leader. We want the leader dead. Okay, so that's phase 1 done. So phase 2 is shoot. And the Germans and the Americans are both set up for shoot actions. Oh, now here's why this is going to be important. So first of all, the advantage slightly goes to the Americans. I'll tell you why. You can only shoot at what's been spotted. So technically, the Germans only know that Rogers is here. They may or may not know there's other people here. Like they might suspect it, but they haven't seen them to where they can get a shot at them. Over here, when you shoot at someone who's exposed, like if I have any one of these markers shoot, they become spotted. So, for instance, I have here 3 soldiers may shoot, and then Corte could shoot again. I could have all of them, I could have every single person shoot at Rogers to try and kill Rogers. But when they do, they're going to automatically all become spotted. Now the reason why that's an advantage to the Americans is because then the Americans don't have to focus fire on one person. They can actually take their times and have like one person shoot at each German. So this is actually a burdensome decision for the German player, which is, do we focus fire or do I have just my one person who's exposed fire at Rogers, thus keeping my other units kind of safe. Decisions. Well, what we'll do is we'll start with one guy shooting, because I can do 3. There's nothing that says I have to, or maybe it does say. Off the top of my head, I can make a decision, shoot, and then come back and say, you know what, let me have another soldier shoot, because I can get up to 3. So let's start with that. So my first guy out in the open is Thielen, and he's going to shoot. This is pretty much all going to be pretty much close range. We're pretty close to each other here. So I'm looking for shoot penalties. There's no shoot penalties here, but there is one shoot penalty here. So what that means is I subtract that 1 from his shooting range essentially. So he could shoot all the way out to 9 squares, which would be long range. So that means everything here and under, he gets to roll for. So he gets to roll for, not roll, but pull a card for long distance, short distance, and close distance. So he's close enough that this shot is pretty accurate. It could hurt Rogers, just all by himself. Yeah, being this close to the enemy is going to make it really easy to put some hurt on folks. Yeah, so I might not have to have everybody shoot. We might kill Rogers off in one go. Kind of sad, but there it is. Okay, so we're going to draw. So the person shooting draws the shoot cards, and if there's any hits, the person who's being shot at draws cards to see what the damage is. So let's see if we hit. Because this is within range of his long range and short range and close range, I'm going to draw 3 cards and see if they hit. So first we're going to draw for long range. His long range was a hit. Short range was a miss. And the close range was a hit plus. Okay, hit plus is if you have a weapon or ability or something on you that says you have hit plus ability. that means that you could spread your hit out to another model or put another hit on the same model. But this is essentially just 2 hits, close and a hit for long. He doesn't have a hit plus weapon attached to him, so he's just going to get 2 hits, a long range hit and a short range. Yeah, see, they're so close. This is going to be very brutal combat. Since I've got 2 hits, let's see what those do. First one, wounds. Next hit, pins. All right. Well, wound on Rogers. I'm going to flip Rogers to his wounded side, and he gets a pin. All right, cool. I'm going to go get a pin marker for him. Okay, I've gone ahead and put the pin marker. Pin means that all of his stats are at half round down. So in addition to being wounded, it's now going to be a lot tougher for him to do things. So, you know, I might not get close range shots. I might only get short or long range. So at this distance, I'm still going to get a couple shots in. But if we were any further apart, it would be very hard for him to shoot because he's, you know, hurt and pinned. Then I went ahead and put their little miniatures out. I forgot about switching out their little dog tag with their little miniature. So Rogers is on the board, and so is Steinlein, or however you pronounce his name. All right, so that was the first German shot. So I'm going to grab those cards up to discard. So in actuality, that was actually pretty good. Now, again, since I can shoot up to 3, have 3 of my soldiers shoot, I could say, you know what, let's take another shot because Rogers is hurt, but that unit is still not dead. But the problem is, again, that makes 2 of my soldiers exposed to be shot at. And then that would, you know, escalate back and forth between seeing who can do what. Let's do it. Go big or go home. So we're going to have Kortig do it this time. So I'm going to put him out. And he's going to shoot at Rogers. So same thing. There's only -1 to the shoot. Kortig here, since his long range shooting is 12, he could shoot long range out to 11 in this instance. So close. Well, here's the thing. His close is only 2. So if I subtract 1 from that, it's 1. So actually he can't shoot close range, but he can shoot short range and he can shoot long range. So he's going to draw 2 cards. So for long range, he draws a miss, and then his short range, he drew a miss. So both of his shots were misses. But see, again, I could have another German unit fire. Yeah, let's do it. Go big or go home. So we'll have them shoot. That's Schultz. So Schultz right here. All right. Again, it's only -1. So Schultz here. His close is only two squares away too. So you subtract 1. He's not close enough for close range. But again, he's close enough for short and long range. So he's going to draw 2. So his long range shot is a miss, and then his short range, come here card, that's a miss as well. Oh my goodness. All right, just do it. Push the advantage here. So we're going to bring on Kruger. Come on, Kruger. Show us those claws, Kruger. All right, but again, Kruger, he's only got close range of 2. Subtract 1 because of the -1 shooting. Thank goodness these bushes were here. So he's only going to draw 2 cards. So he's going to draw for long and short. So here comes long range. Long range is a miss. Short range. Come here, short range. And short range is a miss. Goodness gracious. All right. But because this was Kortig's dog tag, he could shoot again. This is his heroic moment to shine, and he's going to take it. So he's going to draw for long range. He gets a hit. He's going to draw for short range and gets a hit. All right. So that dog tag moment, that was his time in the spotlight to just let rip. And he does. But now, poor Rogers. This might be the end of Rogers. So he draws. I guess I could have discarded these two up here. Okay, so here we go. He draws. If he gets another wound, he's dead. Oh, kill. So he's outright killed. Kill. So he is now dead. So Rogers comes off. That is exactly what the German player, well, no, it's not exactly what the German player wanted. This is kind of turning out what I was mentioning before. The German player, because all of the soldiers opened up to take out that one guy, the advantage now becomes the Americans in that we could have, say, one guy shoot at one person shoot at another, and if we can, wound, we can maybe, possibly spread the damage around more so than the German player. The German player, because they only saw one character, they just focus fired on him. They just opened up, and they took him out. Little did they know, they've now made themselves targets for the Americans, which it is now the Americans' turn. So the Americans have a decision to make. I'm just tidying up here these cards. This mat is nice, but I almost need like bigger spaces on this mat. So anyway. So they can have two soldiers shoot and Rogers could shoot again. So first of all, oh, wait a minute. Who'd they kill? They killed Rogers. So Rogers won't get any heroic dog tag actions because he's dead. Bummer. So I'm going to have two soldiers. So that was one benefit then that the Germans had, was they got to shoot with 3 soldiers and the dog tag action gave them a 4th person to shoot with. Oh, you know what? I think I cheated on them. I did. Oh my goodness. You may not have caught it, but I just did. I only had 3 soldiers that I could shoot. And then I had Kortig. You know what? Technically, Rogers is actually still alive. Okay, so let me rewind. Instead of editing the video, so here's what I did wrong. I dropped a card. What I did was, gosh, I don't even know. I got so excited on revealing soldiers and shooting. Basically, I should have had 3 soldiers revealed to shoot, right? That would have been Feinlein, because he would have went first, and then Kruger and Schultz, for instance. Those would have been the 3 from the bubble action. Then the dog tag action would have been Kurtig. That would have been all 4, which would have been his dog tag action. But what I did was I went ahead and had all 4 go. And then I had Kurtig go as a dog tag action. I totally just got so excited in shooting that I overlooked that when Kurtig fired, that should have been his dog tag. Sorry for the glare. That should have been his dog tag action. So in actuality, that last couple of cards we did for the 2 hit checks, those technically did not happen. And those damage checks with the kill, I hate to put it back on the deck, but that technically did not happen. So technically, Rogers is still alive because he was overshot. But through the power of catching this thing before he moved on, I'm backing it up a bit. Yay, Rogers is back. Okay, Steve, let's see what you can do there. Okay, he's pinned, but he can still fire. I got to pay better attention to what I'm doing. So 2 soldiers may shoot, and then Rogers can go as a dog tag action. So I'm going to get 3 soldiers out of my 4 that can fire. I'm going to have Rogers do his firing first because he's the soldier in the open. And he is going to shoot, I'm going to randomly determine 1. So he's going to shoot at Feinlein. And I'm hoping we kill him because that will drop how many action cards the Germans get. Okay, so here, there are no shoot penalties here. There are no reductions to shooting, just nice clear open. And he has a shoot range of, well, half of that because he's pinned, 4, because half round down is 4. That means I get to pull for long, short, and close range. Wow, so the terrain is even an advantage at this point for the Americans. So let's see what happens here. So long range is a miss. Short range is a miss. Oh, come on now. Close range is a miss. So Rogers, being wounded, misses all 3 shots. Okay, who else is going to shoot? I'm not going to have Staff Sergeant Harrison shoot yet because I don't want him to be a valid target yet. So we're going to have Barstow shoot his M1 rifle. He has a long range of 10. Since there's no reductions to shoot, he gets to pull for long, short, and close. So here we go. Long range. Oh, who's he shooting at? I'm going to keep that there. So he did pull a miss, but out of the 4 targets, number 3, he's going to shoot at Schultz. Okay, so his long range was a miss, short range miss, close range miss. Dang, that's a lot of missing. Okay, but since that was Barstow is here. So we're going to put Barstow on the board. So he's now a valid target for the Germans. And then we already shot with Rogers. Rogers was already out. So we're going to shoot with Fields. Fields is 13, 5, and 2. Again, there's no shoot reductions in the German fields between the two. So he's going to pull 3 cards. Long range. Ah, shoot. Who is he shooting at? What did I say? This guy, new target, Schultz. Okay. And then his short range is a miss. Long range, or close range, 2 hits. Yay! All right, so he shot really good there. So I'm going to just put these up. That was 2 hits. And this was leftover cards from play. Okay, here we go. First damage is a pin. Second damage card, zip, means nothing happened. So let's grab a pin, and then that phase is over. Schultz has the pin action now, so he's done. That's actually the end of phase 2. Now, I've already got these flipped up. Normally what you do is you leave them down until the new phase comes up, but we'll just go ahead and they're already up. But Germans have the initiative, anywho, so they're going to shoot. Now here, one soldier may shoot, and then Kruger can get a dog tag action. One soldier will shoot. Let's determine who's going to do the shooting. Number 1, Theinlein's going to shoot. But that's actually a good choice because I've only got a -1 penalty here, and that would bring his range to 2 squares, which is still short range or close range for him. So he's going to draw 3 cards. Now he's only got 2 people to shoot with, so we'll roll the die 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's either going to shoot at Barstow or Rogers. He's going to shoot at Rogers. Okay, I'm going to have to pause and reshuffle here in a second, but long range is a miss. Short range is a miss. Long range or close range is a miss. So this time, thin line, I don't know how you say his name. Thielen. I'll go with Thielen. So Thielen misses. Okay, now it's third phase, so Kruger can shoot. Kruger will go ahead and shoot. However, before I do that, I'm going to do a quick card reshuffle and get the discard pile back in order, or the draw pile back. Okay, since this was Kruger, now remember the only one who got to draw all of his cards was Thielen, because I guess he's a really good shot. But Kruger, his close range is 2 squares, -1 because of the shoot penalty, the woods they're in. He doesn't get to do the close, but he will draw for long and short range. So long range was a miss. I didn't roll to see who he's shooting at. Let me see if he hits anybody first. And his short range is a hit. Okay, so it's between those two. It's Rogers again. Poor Rogers. Okay, since that was a hit for Rogers, we'll go ahead and draw his one card. It's a pin. You know what? I don't know if I can be pinned more than once. I think I can only be pinned once. Let me go double check the pin rule real fast. Alright, just got done looking in the rules, and I could not see anything that says you can have more than one pin marker, and then nothing about removing pin markers. The only thing I found about removing anything is actually a medic who could possibly prevent someone from being killed. That's about it. They'll still be wounded, but nothing about removing pins. So what I'll do is I'll just leave the one pin. I'll just say you're pinned, you're pinned. So I'm not sure. Hopefully someone who is much more versed in the rules than I am can just let me know that yes, you can suffer multiple pins, and then is it possible to remove pins. So for now, because I can't remove pins, it would be really weird for me to just pin this guy to the point where he can't walk. Well, I guess you can still move, but his shooting would be affected. So yeah, we'll just go with one pin since I can't remove pins. If I could remove pins and pins fell off, then I'd say yeah, let's load them up because they'll degrade over time. But since I don't see anything for that, I would hate to get like 4 pins stuck on one person. Maybe that's how it's supposed to be. So for now, we'll just do one pin. Okay, with that in mind, that was the last of the German shooting, I believe. One soldier shot. Actually, I think that was Kruger. Yeah, Kruger shot or Schultz did. Yeah, without yeah. Boy, I need to have a thing where I know exactly how many soldiers have taken an action. I need to put like a little marker, like, okay, he did his one action. That's smart. Let me go grab some markers. Because I forgot, I just got these little markers for me now, beads. So we're going to say that Kruger and Schultz fired. I honestly forgot how many Germans of my, one soldier may shoot, how many actually got to shoot. So I'm going to say that, yeah, they did. But we're going to pop over here to the Americans. They only get one soldier may shoot, and Fields as a dog tag action can shoot. So we're going to have Rogers shoot. He's pinned. That will affect his range, but since they're close range, it's fine. He can shoot, and then Fields will. Fields will do the dog tag action, which will expose him and make him one of the eligible targets, but at least he'll get to shoot. Okay, so first of all, we'll do Rogers. With them being 2 squares away, ooh, you know what? He won't get the close range shot because it's half, so he'll get to pull for long and short range. Okay, so let's do it. Long range is a miss, and short range is also a miss. So being wounded really sucks. Okay, which one is Fields? There's Fields. So we'll grab Fields' little dude right there. And Fields, well within range. There's no penalties to his shooting, so he'll pull for long, short, and close range. Move the dice here. Okay, long range is a miss. Short range is a hit. And close range is a hit. Let me see who he hit though. Let's roll the die. 4. Number 4, so he's going to shoot Kruger. Okay, so that's 2 hits. Kruger gets a zip, lucky them, and a wound. So Kruger, right here, he's now wounded. Oh, and I should have took 2 beads because Rogers went and Fields. So those 2 did my actions. Okay, what I'm going to do is I've only got 1 card left here after I do my discards. And discard the damage. I had just reshuffled the German deck, so I'm going to, since I only have 1 left, I'm going to reshuffle these and then stick this one on top. But actually we get to discard all of this. That's into the turn. So let's do a little cleanup. and also these cards from the hand got left over. All that goes away, and these story cards will go. Alright, so what was my order? Oh, exit area C. We might just end up shooting all the Germans, and then we'll win that way. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pause this, shuffle up, and then we'll draw some new cards and start the next turn. In fact, I'll just go ahead and move the turn marker now. We'll start at turn 3. Okay, we got a new turn coming up, so we're going to draw 5 for the Americans. They get a look, they get a shoot, they get a move, another move, and a look. That should cover most things that we'll encounter. German player still gets 6 because Thielen's still alive, so there's a shoot, a move, a move, a move, a shoot, a shoot. That could be bad. Could be bad. But let's see what the story brings. Phase 1 is move and shoot, which is perfect. Then actually this might not be bad at all. Then a look and shoot. Move and shoot. Technically, we're good. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. That's a lot of shooting for the Germans. Okay. Germans are going to be shoot. Let's see which shoots give them the most. So this is 2, and Thielen is their crack shot, so he will shoot first. 2 soldiers and Kruger, so we'll go 2 soldiers for shooting. Then all I have left is 1 soldier may shoot. So that's how their lineup will go. These 3 get set aside for determining initiative. So they have 3 there. Okay. I drew for the Americans. We had a look, move, move. This is bad. See, this is bad for the Americans. They're going to get their 1 shoot, which is terrible because it's only a 1 soldier may shoot, and Fields, who's still alive. Then the rest of this, a look, which we can do, but all the enemies are sighted, so I'm putting it there just to fulfill the requirement for a look, because it's a look and shoot. All of these secondary actions are shoots, and I've only got the 1 shoot card. So this is actually bad for the Americans. Okay, then last would be move and a shoot. So we can move. We're gonna do three soldiers and Barstow, which will get everybody moving. So we'll see if we can move away. Move away. Start moving. What we're gonna do is move here, which will put some more cover between us and the Germans. So, yep, they're pouring on the fire. So narratively, we realize we've got to get moving. So we're going to start moving. I mean, we could cut across right here into this field, but it's a move S. Which means we probably have to save up a move. So we can't quite do that yet. So we'll wait. Or we can move down here, which would still give us some range and more minuses to fire, because then we'd have -3. Choices. Okay, well, let's do initiative first. Yeah, so we know the Germans have initiative. I've only got 2 cards left. So Germans will be shooting first, which is right here. Shoot. 2 soldiers may shoot, and Thielen. Alright, which 2 are going to shoot? Well, I have a wounded guy, so he won't be. I know that, because his ranges are pretty bad. So we'll go ahead and have Schultz, Kortig, and Thielen will shoot. We'll start with Schultz. Now again, We're only 2 squares away, so that's well within range, and there's only -1 shoot penalty. So for Schultz, he can't shoot at that range because his is only 2, so he's going to get long and short range. Who are they going to shoot at? I got 3 targets now, so I'm going to roll a die 3. We rolled a 2. So 1, 2. Rogers, my man. All right, here we go. Long range is a miss. Short range is a miss. So we put a bead. So that was Schultz, my reminder bead, in case I got to pause and read rules or something, I remember. Okay, Kortig, he's going to shoot at Rogers, okay? And he's going to pull for long and short range. So long range is a miss. Short range is also a miss. Okay, and he gets a done reminder bead. And then we'll do Thielen, because that was Thielen's dog tag action. So he's going to shoot. But he gets to shoot all 3 ranges because he's that good of a marksman. Long range is a miss. Short range is a miss. Close range is a hit. Okay, so we got 1 hit. Put his action bead. Done. Let me grab a couple beads for over here. Got extra beads. Okay, so now there was 1 hit. Yeah, it was on Rogers. I think that was his roll. Everybody's shooting at Rogers. So 1 hit. Finally, it's a zip. Thank you, Rogers. You needed that. All right, that was the Germans. The Americans return fire, but it's only 1 soldier and Fields. And they all can shoot pretty well, actually. So we'll say not Harrison. Harrison still has not been spotted yet. So we're going to leave him out of the shooting. So we'll have Barstow shoot. Barstow is going to pull for long, short, and close range because he's got 3. There's no penalties between them and the Germans, like shooting out into the Germans. So here we go. His long range shot is a miss. His short range is a hit. And close is a miss. So let me put that on Barstow. So remind myself that he did shoot. Okay, so it's only 1. And the German player pulls card. It's a wound. Oh, but I didn't see who he was shooting at. So let's roll the die. 4. 4. So that's Kruger. Kruger was already wounded, so Kruger is now dead. Wow! And he's worth 4 victory points. I'll just put his card there. 4 victory points. And we'll pull Kruger off. Oh no! Alright. And that was only 1 American who shot. So Fields will do his dog tag action. So he's going to shoot. Let's do the die 3. Number 2. So it's going to be there at Kurig. Now his shooting is also 13, 5, and 2, but no penalties. So he's going to draw for long range. Is a hit. Short range, miss. Close range, miss. So he also got 1 hit against Kurig. So discard that one. Kurig draws a zip. So he was almost hit. Okay, so that phase is done. These will go to the discard. And I'll just put that there on Fields. So that phase is done. Now we'll go to phase 2. And you know what? Let me put a little reminder marker. That phase is done. You don't need all these tokens, but sometimes I have to pause to answer kids, go to the bathroom, get a drink, or whatever. Yeah, so it doesn't hurt. I have little reminder markers there. Okay, so phase 1 is done. Now we can go to phase 2. I'm going to take my little reminder markers off because it's a new phase. Phase 2 was a look and shoot. Germans have initiative, so they're going to shoot. He's got 2 soldiers may shoot, and Kruger. Who did I just kill? We just killed Kruger, so he loses the dog tag action. So it's going to be mostly Schultz and Kurdig doing the work. I mean, Thielen can too because he's such a good shot. And since he's already been spotted, it doesn't matter. So we'll have Thielen shoot. Thielen is going to shoot at Rogers. Imagine that. He's going to shoot at Rogers. And again, even though they got that -1, that still puts it close range. So Thielen is going to pull 3 cards here. Long range, miss. Short range, miss. Close range, miss. So Thielen zips on all of that. Give me your card. Ugh. Now I've run out of cards here, so I'm going to shuffle the action deck. So we'll be right back. Alright, so I put the reminder for Thielen. He fired. We're going to go ahead and have Kurtig fire. So I'll put my reminder. He's going. But he can only draw for long and short. Long range, miss. Short range is a hit. Oh no! Alright, so die 3. Who is he hitting? Where's the die 3? A 1. This time at Barstow. Barstow. He's going to draw a wound. So now Barstow is wounded. Yikes. We got 2 wounded soldiers there. Not looking good for the Americans. I mean, in a way, Americans now have firepower advantage because they did kill 1 German soldier, but these guys are getting shot up, so they're not happy about it. Alright, so that phase for the German player is done. They did their two soldiers that they could do. Alright, the Americans, since we're on phase 2, they're doing a look. No shooting for them. Okay, that's swell. But they can look. Nothing for them to look at. So phase 2 is over for them. Alright, so I'm going to put my phase 2 done. Now we're on phase 3. Guess I can just say we're now doing phase 3, which is move and shoot. We have 1 soldier may shoot and Schultz. Let's take these reminders off for the phase. So we can do 1 soldier and Schultz. We'll do, it doesn't matter because Kurtz could go twice, but since he's got the pin, he can't shoot at close range right now. Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll have, it doesn't matter, we'll do Phil DeVebel because he gets to do close range, all 3, and Schultz. So here we go. So this guy here, Thielen, man, he's getting a workout today. Long range, miss. Short range, miss. Close range, miss. So he opened up the game really strong, but later on, he's got a lot of misses. And then Schultz is wounded, so he can't shoot at the short range. Luckily, because his short range is 3 squares, and we have -1 for the penalty here in their square, -1. That would mean he could shoot up to 2 squares away. So he still gets to shoot close range, short range. If the Americans move away, which they're about to, he won't be able to shoot at them anymore. So I think it'll be good for the Americans to move 1 away. Alright, but he's going to draw 2 cards. So his long range is a miss, and then his short range is a miss. So they still missed. Alright, and then he's done. Oh, wrong guy. Because that was on Schultz. That was his dog tag action. Alright, then the Americans. The Americans get to move now. We thought about moving diagonally, but I think they'd have to accumulate an S marker. Let me double check that rule real fast, and I'll tell you what I'm talking about. Just a quick kind of strategizing here. In order to move in here, if I want to move diagonal into this S, I have to basically save up a movement. I would have to spend a move plus token. So they would spend this turn accumulating a move plus token to eventually go kind of sideways to move into this fields, this house. But the house area doesn't give me enough protection to really justify moving in there. I'd still be really close to the Germans. So we're not going to worry about that. Plus, my dude who's pinned, the people who are pinned can't move. So we're going to leave Rogers behind. Bye, Rogers, and the rest of us are going to move here. So my move was move 3 soldiers, and I could move Barstow, but because Rogers is pinned, he's going to stay behind. But Barstow will move, Harrison will move, and Fields will move. Now, we're a little bit further. I'm going to have to get a string, but technically, if I measure from like center to center point, we're actually quite a few hexes away, or squares away. This makes big combat modifiers. Plus, I'll be adding -2 shooting for this and -1 for here. So -3 penalty to the Germans. So there's a little bit of shooting penalties both ways now, and shooting will be a little more difficult, but we still have a firepower advantage over the Germans. And now we can actually start moving towards Area C, which is not bad. That's where we wanted to get anyway. So Rogers might die, but if I can get some people off, I think we'll be good. And I was just double checking for patrol. All I have to do is get 1 soldier out of the exit area to win. So I think leaving the Germans behind and start making a push to get out to my exit area will actually be a good idea. That will force them to start moving, less shooting. I think we'll be okay. So yeah, I'm happy with that. So let's clean up. I think we're all done. So I'm just going to clean up. That should have been the end of the phase. I moved all the soldiers I could. So let's clean this up a little bit. And that's my victory points. All of that. Leftover cards. Gone. And I guess I got all his cards. We'll clean up the phase here. Alright, let's see. Germans get 6. So they're going to draw a move. Let me advance my turn marker. 2, 3, 4, 5. So they drew move, shoot, move, hide. Well, right, that's actually not bad. Since the Americans are moving, the Germans might want to think about moving. Plus, they still can take a lot of shots at Rogers, if nobody else. And the Americans get 5 cards. So they draw a look. They draw a shoot. Oh, I drew that from the discard. They draw another shoot. Another shoot. Lots of shooting this time. And they draw a hide. Alright, nothing too exciting. Okay, phases for the turn. We draw a shoot. Shoot and then a look. A move and then a look. And a hide and then a move. And no matching for events. So no random events triggered there. Okay. Well, we have a shoot and then a look, a move and then a look, and then a hide, then a move. Okay, so we're definitely going to shoot for the Germans. They have a 1 soldier may shoot, 3 soldiers may shoot. So we're definitely going to use that one. Okay, there we go. And then we have a move and look. 5 soldiers may move. Well, they're definitely going to move everybody because they're going to want to chase the Americans. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place these face down just as reminders for upcoming phases, what phase we're on. And then finally it's a move, hide or move. We'll put another move. I might not need to do another move, but we'll grab a 3. So we might move to try and block the Americans. So we'll start to spread out. Okay, so we had a shoot and then a look. Definitely going to do some shooting. I have a lot of options here. 2 soldiers may shoot. They're all alive. I'm going to take this one because Rogers is still alive. So he'll do shoot. Then it's a move and look. I have no move, so we'll have to look. It's kind of a waste, but it fulfills the requirement. And then there's hide and move. This, I would have loved to have had some more moves at this point, but I don't have any more. Well, I have a hide. Well, that might not be too bad. Maybe I can get somebody to hide, so we'll put that there. Okay, these 2 are for initiative determinations. I only got 2, so we know the Germans get initiative. We had 3 cards left over for the German player, so they are going to have initiative. All right. Reminder tokens are off. All right, let's see. So Germans are shooting. Well, let's reveal what they're doing. Phase 1. Okay, they shoot. 3 soldiers may shoot, and Kortig can get 2 shots. And Kortig is still alive. So we'll start with Thielen here. He's going to roll. Now that we've had a change of folks, what I'll do here is I'll just go here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's roll. 3. So they're going to shoot at Rogers. I'm not surprised at that. Okay, so Thielen gets to draw 3 cards because he gets his long, short, and close. Long range is a miss. Make sure I'm drawing from the right spot. Short range is a miss, and then his close range is a miss. So Thielen misses all. Okay, put a little reminder. Then, let's see, this is a Kurtig's dog tag action, and they can shoot. So he's going to shoot 2. So we'll go with Schultz next. Schultz is pinned, so he can shoot long and short range. Well, let's see who he's shooting at first, because that might determine 4. He's going to shoot at Fields. Fields is now moved. Okay, that's going to be tough. I need my laser pointer. Here we go. Laser. So that cuts through L1A. L1A counts as 2 spaces. So that's going to be 2. Cuts through 15B, that's 3. And then right here, since it's a German shooting, 7A. So that is 1, 15B, 2, 3 for L1A, and 7A, 4. They're now 4 squares away. -1, -3 for the range, because that's a -2 shoot, -1 shoot. So, who are we doing? Schultz first. Yeah, Schultz is shooting at Fields. So here's the thing. His short range is 6. It's now a 3. He can't shoot at short range because of the -3, and that would make his short range is already half, so that'd be 0 squares that he can shoot, but he can still shoot long. So he's going to draw 1 card, and it's a miss at long range. So we'll put he's done. And then Kurtig gets 2 shots in a row. So Kurtig is going to do his first shot, will be at Fields. Same thing, -3 because of the penalties, and it's 4 spaces away. So the 3, he can't shoot short range because 5 -3 is 2 squares, and they're like 4 squares away. So he gets 1 for long range. So moving that 1 square saved the Americans a lot of headache. And long range is a miss. Okay, done. The American player reveals for their phase 1 shooting. 2 soldiers may shoot, and Rogers will get the magical dog tag action. We'll probably have Well, Rogers, he'll do the dog tag action for sure because his distances are really crummy. Because he's got no penalties between him. He's still here. He's got no penalties. There's no shoot penalties here. So he's just looking at a distance of 2, which is, for him, close, short, and long. But the pin is half. So he can only do long and short. So we'll have him go 2 cards. Long range is a miss. Short range was also a miss. Okay. Now I could have him dog tag because I think the other guy is going to get to draw 1 card. So Rogers will shoot again. Long range, miss. Short range, also a miss. Dang it. Miss, miss. Dang it. That was his. He did 1 action and the dog tag. But 2 soldiers can shoot. So we're going to have Barstow is wounded. Fields is not wounded. So Fields is already exposed, so he'll shoot. So again, going back to the Germans, he's cutting through. I'm going to try to get to middle as much as possible there. So he's going to cut through L1A, which is 2. 15B makes it 3. So it's still 4 away, but the penalties are less. So it's only -2. So 4 away, -2. Who is going to shoot? Fields. So he can't shoot close range because the target is 4 squares away. And he can't shoot short range because there's a -2. And again, that would put him at 3 squares he could fire, and they're 4 squares away. So he's going to get 1 shot at long range. Long range is a miss. All right, just that little bit of movement changed the shooting dynamic. I mean, like a lot. So that's that. That was the end of phase 1. So we did phase 1. Now we're on phase 2. Phase 2 is a move action. Germans get to move 5 soldiers, and Thielen can do a dog tag action and move 1 more. Germans are going to cut off. Well, here's the thing. They have to save up a movement to go anywhere. Okay, so that's what we'll do. Let me get a move tokens to save up. Normally I wouldn't bother with it, but they're surrounded by S's, so they're going to have to save up to move. All right, hold on. We'll do that. Okay, the Germans, I just remembered, slight disadvantage for the Germans again because they have 1 guy who's pinned. So they're going to leave someone behind. So I'm going to put a +1 move for Thielen and a +1 move for Kurtig. Now, Thielen, he can do the dog tag action for move. Since he used 1 action to get the plus, he's going to go ahead. I shouldn't split the party, but we're going to split the party. And he's going to move here because he's going to start moving to try and cut off the Americans as much as possible. But moving through here is really difficult because they're going to have an S move. So it's going to cost points to move into the house. So yeah, it's slow moving through that area. But because he moved, he used his move token. I'll just set that off to the side. And they would be done. I guess I didn't clear these off from the last phase. That was from the shooting. So then we'll take that off because that was their shooting. Okay, so the Germans, they move. Easy. Oh, wait. Yeah, he saved up a move. Thielen spent 2 move actions, so he's good. The Americans, however, on their turn, do a look. But nobody's hidden, so that's done. Okay, then we're on to phase 3. Germans with initiative, they do a move. 3 soldiers may move. Okay, Kurtig can now move. So he moves up to join his buddy. And that goes because he used it. And reminder move. And Thielen will save up a movement. Because if he wants to move anywhere, he's going to have another S. This dog tag action is Kruger. Kruger is dead. and he can't move. So Germans are done moving. Okay, phase 3 for the Americans. They get a hide. Well, that's interesting. Now, hide is just what it sounds like. You're going to try and put yourself back in this unspotted kind of mode. And what you do is you count up, well, first you're going to pick who you want to hide from. Let me double check how to do that real fast. Good news! I solved a problem that didn't exist. The rules do have a whole section on rally, and I just completely overlooked that. But when I was refreshing on how to hide, rally is one of the actions you can do on a hide, and you can do it with a dog tag action. And so luckily Harrison is my leader, and he's going to do a rally, and he can rally up to 2 squares away, and he can take a pin off someone. So he takes the pin off of Private Rogers. Yay, that actually worked out better than I thought it would. Okay, cool. I'm happy I went to reread the hide. So that phase is done. Well, the dog tag action of Harrison, I can still have 3 soldiers take cover. There's also a special here, which I didn't do before when I looked here. For the look on phase 2, Harrison could move and take cover. And I completely forgot about this additional square of actions you can do. But yeah, here I can still move 3 soldiers, and 3 soldiers can take cover, and Harrison can sight an enemy soldier. Well, that's cool. All the soldiers are spotted, so he doesn't need to do a sight. But 3 soldiers can take cover. Okay, so that's another thing. So we did the rally. We're good there. All right, I might not be able to hide, but the hiding says you're going to take between the closest square. This square is the closest square because if I go up to this square, that counts through here, here. So that's like 1, 2, 3, 4 squares away. Whereas if I count across here, it's only 2. Landmarks count as 2 only. So they're technically the closest. They have a -2 hide and a -1 hide. And that gives me a total of -3 hide. I think we're too close to hide. Their cover is 4 squares. I'd have to get that value to 0 or less. So none of these are good enough to hide. Ooh. Except, well, he's already hidden. His is only 0 squares. Man, he's like a camouflage master. Not so good, not so good. When they're wounded, it's more difficult for them to hide. He hides pretty good. He could have hidden, but he's wounded. Oh, but Rogers might still be able to. 2, 2. Rogers will hide. Rogers is a semi-master at camouflage. So where's his little hidden? Roger says, I'm tired of being shot at. So he goes down. He he he. I guess I can leave those up. I still know they're hidden. So Harrison, he's still hidden. Rogers hides because you get to count the square you're in plus the closest. So you count all the hides. I'm hiding from everybody. So -2, -2. That's like -6 total for him. So that's fine. Well, let's see. 1, 2. This is still 1, 2. We'll just hide from here because he'd be -2. That'd be -4 hide altogether, which would still be enough for, well, it wouldn't be enough for Rogers to hide. I'm going to say this is closest just to give Rogers a rest. Yeah, we'll go with that. Okay, so phase 3 is done for them. They're done. That went quick. Okay. Boop, 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 boom. So these come off. These are the 3 hand cards. That goes to discard. And he's dead. This is their actions for this turn. Done. Who are you? Harrison. That was something, that must have been for shooting or something. So we'll say here. Those must have fell. Alright. Here's your discarded actions. We'll shuffle them here in a minute. And those get discarded as well. Alright, we're ready for the next phase. Yeah, I'm going to have to shuffle both of these because I don't have enough to do a whole hand. Okay, so I'm going to shuffle their discards and then we'll pull the cards because they don't have enough. Okay, here come the Americans. They got a look, a move, 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 hide. Well, that hide turned out not to be so bad, but a lot of moves. Well, let's see if it works out that way. Okay, Germans. Rogers is still alive. I'm going to put Rogers back down here. He's still alive. Not dead. He's still alive. Okay, Germans get a shoot, look, hide, shoot, move, hide. Okay, cool. Okay, what do we draw for the story? I did move my turn marker. It's now turn 5. So we have phase 1 is a look and then move. Phase 2 is a move and then shoot. And then phase 3 is a move and then shoot. We have no matching random events. So that's actually going to play into the Americans very well because they're trying to get off the board. All they got to do is get one soldier off. Restricted movement. You need, I think, a move +2 for that. So the Americans might have to come this route. Oh, that's going to suck because they're going to be very slow moving through the woods. Yep. Okay, well, the Germans can cut them off. Yeah, that's going to be tough. But let's do it. We got to move. Okay, so let's see. Americans, 5 soldiers may move. And then Barstow can move again. So we want to move as many people as possible. So they're going to move. Then there's a move shoot. They're just going to move. 3 soldiers. 3 soldiers. Oh, you know what? Look at that. 3 soldiers may move and move again. We're doing that one first. Then we'll move everybody. And then we'll move everybody with a dog tag action for fields. So that's fantastic. Americans are going to get to their end of their patrol definitely. Okay, then we have a look move. Yeah, well, let's look because we now have hidden people for the Germans, so they'll look. Then they can move shoot. They'll do some shooting. 2 soldiers may shoot. 1 may shoot. Kruger's dead. So either one of these is just 2 people shooting. So we'll go with that one. It's fine. Because that's just two regular shoots. And then finally it's a move and a shoot. So we'll just put probably shoot again. Since we don't know exactly how the Americans will move, we'll just do some shooting. So there we go. All set for the phases. Okay. I'm going to flip the 2 unused cards. That's their initiative. So again, until we kill Thielen, the Americans will always be behind on initiative. So they got good leadership over there. Okay, phase 1 is a look. Now, who wants to look at who? Yeah, because if I remember right, it was pretty much an automatic guarantee. So is it they want to find Rogers or Harrison? So we'll roll a die 2 for that. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Roll to 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. They're going to find Rogers. So Schultz will look. Look is -2, -1. So there's -3 to look. So Schultz can look. Site is 14 squares. That's subtract 3. That's 11 squares. You can see he's only 2 squares away. So he definitely sees Rogers. He's like, no. So Rogers hid for just a moment. one soldier may sight enemy. Now Schultz can, as a dog tag action, try to spot Harrison, and that's what he'll do. And remember, it's 4 because it counts 15B is 1, L1A is 2, so that's 3 total, and then 7A. So it cuts through all of those. So that's 4. So let's see, -2 look, -4 look, -6 look. -6 looks to Schultz puts him at 8, but still that's only a few squares away. So that's still within his ability to look. So he sees Harrison as well. So Harrison comes to the board finally. All the Americans now are valid targets for the German player. So good job, Schultz. Then phase 1 for the Americans are to move. 3 soldiers may move and move again. Barstow then gets a free move on top of that. So the bubbles first. So 3 soldiers may move. We're going to move Rogers for 1. Let me put a little reminder to track here. So Rogers is 1. And then, so Rogers moved 1. Then, who was the dog tag? Barstow. So we're going to move everybody but Barstow. So that's 3. And then 3 get to move again. So Rogers. And then, let's see, they can move diagonal. There's no penalty to move diagonally. Let me double check. There's a little move chart here. Hold on, before we get totally crazy. Let's see, we all moved 1. Yeah, so we're going to see, yeah, Barstow didn't move. They moved. So he moved, those 2 moved. All right, that's why I got to put this little reminder thing. Who's doing what? Fields, Harrison. They moved once, so they're going to get their move again here in just a second, but I want to see about moving diagonally. Okay, I did make a slight, yeah, imagine that I made a mistake. Okay, when you move to an S square, you don't have to save up your movement points if you're moving out of the side. You only have to save up a move point if you're going diagonally. So when I moved everybody from here to here for the Germans, because they have an S move, I didn't need to save up the movement because they didn't go diagonally. In my mind, you could say they moved diagonally, but they moved out the side. So that wouldn't have cost them anything extra. Now the reason why I'm looking at that is because here, if I'm going to move these guys diagonal, they can move diagonally. There's no extra point because there's no S here. So they could totally move diagonally. Then as I move here, because I'm trying to get to area C, this has S penalties, so only if I'm going diagonally. So if I was going to move here and then go here, I'd have to save up a move point, then go, and then come out. So if I just have a bunch of moves, I might just simply go like diagonal, move, move, and just move out the sides. That's probably what I'll do. So I don't have to save up movement points for going diagonal to an empty. So let's take a look at the move. Now these 3 guys get to move again. So Fields can move again. Fields will move. Yeah, Barstow gets the dog tag action because I moved Rogers. So Rogers, Harrison. That's their move and move again. Then Barstow gets 1 move with the dog tag action. So that phase is done. So 3 soldiers moved and moved again. Barstow got 1 dog tag action. So they're done. Done. And that's the first phase. Second phase, you know, I like playing a game again. I haven't played it in a while, so a little rusty, but it's all coming back. Oh, loving it. At first I was like, man, this isn't going to work out good, but this is turning out pretty good. I really enjoy this game. I don't know why. I don't play all my games as often as I'd like to. Too many games, not enough time. But coming back to this, it's like, oh yeah, I forgot how fun this is trying to make your... it's just fun. All right, so the Germans are going to shoot. Well, the Americans have left. Schultz has nobody really to shoot at. He's really far away here. Luckily, these guys, well, this counts as 2. If they're in, does it still count as 2, or do they just count as square? Oh my goodness. Let me read up on landmarks again. Okay, so I just said, everything's coming back to me, but I know if you shoot through a landmark, that counts as 2 squares. But what if you're in the landmark? What does that count? Let's see if the rules tell me. Okay, so after going back looking at it, since a landmark counts as just like one big square, if you will, when you're in a square, you don't count the square you're shooting from. So the Germans from here don't have to count this. They're going to count 1. So they're very close to here. They're also 1 here. So it really depends on what square they want to shoot at. So we're going to roll 1, 2, 3, 4. They're going to shoot at this square. Okay, so who exactly is shooting? One soldier may shoot, and then Schultz can. So Schultz can shoot as a dog tag action. So Thielen is my better shot. He's going to shoot into this square, and he's going to shoot 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's going to shoot here at Rogers, for Rogers. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we know he's 1. There's a -2 for shoot, but he shoots so good that if I subtract 2 the penalties, he can shoot 1 square away. They are 1 square away, so he's going to fire all 3 range bands. So here goes for long range is a miss, and then short range is a miss, close range is a miss. So Thielen, man, he did good that first time out, and then after that, it's just been terrible. So Thielen, yeah, see, Thielen didn't even have to save up this move token. I'd get that out of there. He doesn't need it. Okay, and then it's Schultz. Oh no, oh this was we're here. 2 soldiers may shoot. I was confusing my 2 actions here. So 2 soldiers may shoot. So we got him shooting. Schultz. Kruger's the dog tag action. So Schultz. Oh, Kruger's dead. That's right. Kruger's dead, so he can't. So Schultz, and then Kortig will shoot. So again, -2 shoot penalty because of the woods. They're only 1 square away. So Kortig, is close, so 0. So he can't shoot close. So he'll draw for long and short range. Long range is a miss. Short range is also a miss. Okay, that's his two shots there. Okay, so they're done. Let's just take that off for the phase. Good. Americans go to phase 2. Move. 5 soldiers may move. Yes, we will. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the dog tag is Barstow. Barstow moves up. We're leaving poor Rogers behind, but now we have Barstow and Fields and Harrison. Normally, in a lot of games, that would block line of sight, but not here. That's all part of the square. So they're still valid targets, but they're trying to move out of here. Okay, phase 2 is done. Phase 3 is a shoot. 1 soldier may shoot. Kortig can shoot as a dog tag. So that's what we'll do. Thielen will shoot. Again, it's which square? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. They're going to shoot in here. Lots of targets. Okay. We have die 3. 1, 2, and 3. There it is. A 2. 1, 2. So they're going to shoot Barstow. Let's do this. Barstow is the target. And because I get 1 soldier and then Kurtic, it's going to be Thielen. So Thielen draws 3 tags or 3 cards. Long range miss. Short range miss. Close range. Oh no! 2 hits on Barstow. Okay. Oh man, Barstow is already wounded. So this could be bad. One hit is a pin. Yeah, that's bad. Pins are bad because they can't move when pinned. Oops, that's a grenade. Pinned. And second hit is a wound. Second wound, he's dead. Barstow finally drops. That'll be victory points for the German player. Oh, Barstow. Sorry, buddy. You're gone. Alright, but don't feel too bad, because remember, we only have to get one soldier off the board. And we're making our way there now. We spent a lot of time unnecessarily. I thought we'd have a fun firefight and the game would be over. Turns out that's not the case. So we got to push. Okay, so that was Thielen. So let's discard his shot cards. And then Kortig. That's this guy here. Okay, so he's got -2 shoot, and he's 1 square away. So that would put us close at 0 squares, so he can do long and short. Long range is a miss. I didn't check to see which square. I'm going to say he's shooting in here. Technically it doesn't matter, but we'll do the one that's got more people. And short range is miss. So long was miss, short range is miss. So it doesn't matter. He missed anyway. Okay, so those two are done. Okay, so we're good. That phase is over. Phase 3 for the Americans. A move. 3 soldiers may move. Fields, who is still alive, can dog tag move and do an extra move. So 1, 2, 3 soldiers. There it is. 3 soldiers move, and then Fields moves one more time. Like I said, don't feel too sorry for us. We're moving. That's it. So let's clean up. So discard these phase cards. And discard, and discard all of those. We're not skirmishing very well. Well, it does say kill or capture all enemy soldiers encountered. So we're on our way to that. We've killed 1 American soldier. Okay, 5 cards for the Americans. It's a shoot, a look, a move, a hide. Oh, well, that guy was pinned, so that doesn't matter at this point. Shoot. Disappointing, only 1 move. We are so close to getting out of here. Let's not forget to advance the turn marker. Okay, what are the Germans going to do? They have a move and a hide. Move. Move. They're going to cut the Americans off. Look. Shoot. Okay, and I didn't clean these up. So let's do a new phase. Move. Look. Oop. We have a random event. Orders. Okay, so here's what happens. It's orders come in. Hold your position. Players may discard move action cards to gain 2 victory points for each discarded card. Oof. The Germans might take advantage of that, but if I still get 1 guy off the map, we win. So I don't want to stop moving. The Americans want to get out of here, and they're going to move. So let's see. We got a move and then a hide, look and then shoot, hide and then move. So we're going to move for sure, first of all, because they want to move. Then it's a look and then shoot. We're going to shoot. 1 soldier may shoot 2 soldiers, and then Roger's dog tag action, so he's going to do that card. That will give him everybody a chance to shoot. And then finally it's hide and move. We'll do a hide. I don't think I can really hide anybody, but you know. Again, it's a move. So at this point, the Germans can move. They can chase the Americans. So they're going to do a 3 soldiers may move. Well, this one gives me the most. Plus, I still move the same amount of people here. So we'll do 5 first of all. Move. And the next is a shoot. And we have 1 shoot. It's the only shoot I have, so I'm going to play it. And then move. 2 soldiers may move and move again. And then Thielen. So let's do that one. And I can discard up to 2 and get myself some victory points. So I'm going to discard this one and get 2 victory points. 2. There we go. 1. 1. So right now, German player will have 6 victory points. Americans only have 1 or 4 victory points. Okay, phase 1 here. It's the move. 5 soldiers may move. So we're going to move out because we're chasing the Americans, and he'll move in here. I guess you could say he moves there. It's just 1 square, but they're here. And then Thielen can move again. Now, the thing is, I can move Thielen in for close combat, but he's at a disadvantage because Harrison and Rogers, see, he gets 2 fight cards, and Harrison gets 4 fight cards, and Rogers, even though he's wounded, that's still a lot of fight cards. We get the advantage. So there's a chance that Thielen could die. He might kill Harrison. So let's do it. Because that's Thielen's dog tag action. He's going to move in. Alright, let's get ready for a fight and see who we can kill. Alright, so just trying to remember exactly what's going on. You're going to draw cards equal to your fight value and add that to the cards you had left. That gives you an initiative to decide who attacks first. So in this case, we draw 2 for Rogers, 4 for Staff Sergeant Harrison. So they actually get quite a bit. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thielen gets 2 fight cards for his initiative check. Where did I put his 2? He should have had some cards left over. I must have moved them. But he had 3 left over. Oh, these are 2. You know what? I think I only drew 5 for him when I was determining his actions. So I think I left 1 off. But he should have a total of 6 for his initiative for the combat. So the Americans win the initiative, so they'll apply the first damage card that they want. Okay, so now you draw 6 cards. These are the cards you're going to use for the fight. They get 6. A zip, a kill, a zip, a kill. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they got initiative, and they get to apply the first kill. So yeah, this probably was not smart moving into the melee. I wanted to try it out. I hadn't done melee before. Everything I do is normally just shooting. And so he's going to get 2 fight cards. Uh-oh. Which is a kill, lucky, and a pin. Okay. Well, it says you apply effects immediately. So I'm going to take a kill card. I'm going to discard the kill card, and we're going to kill Thielen. So Thielen's dead. So that's a lot of victory points there. Yeah, that was not a smart decision. So Thielen is out of the game. All right, so he's dead. Then the German player, now he's lucky because he drew a kill. So he's going to kill. I'm going to roll the dice. Since there's a couple dudes there. 1, 2 Harrison, 3, 4 Rogers. 4. He kills Rogers. To be fair, I honestly think the smart decision would have been to kill Harrison. I'm going to do that for the German player. So we're going to kill Harrison because that's the leader. So the 2 leaders knock each other out. And that's victory points over here. So right now, German player has a lot of victory points. They've got 12, well, to 14. It's very close. Yeah, so that went way different. And then all of that gets discarded. So that's done. Fight's done. Yeah, so that's not necessarily close combat. The rules say that that is, you know, not hand to hand, but that's you're close enough that you're shooting, throwing grenades, stabbing, punching, clubbing, and whatnot. So we've lost 2. The Germans have lost 2. Yeah, that probably wasn't very smart on the choice of the German player to charge in, but we wanted to try hand to hand. Now the thing is, and I'll need someone again real smart to help me out here at the end, is what do I do with all these initiative cards? I guess I just keep them there till the end of the turn, because if the combat happened again, we'd probably have to do the same thing. We'd have to determine initiative, which would be, well, then it would be a completely different amount of cards that you would draw, because you would have fewer soldiers to deal with. Because it said if soldiers remained, they would kind of forego the next phase and they would fight immediately at the end of the phase. Everybody else could act. So that could have changed the dynamic of the combat. But as it is, that's where we are. So we got 2 Germans left, 2 Americans, and what phase was that? Oh yeah, phase 1. I was like, really? That was just phase 1 for the Germans. Okay, well, that was 5 soldiers. Yeah, they moved. Okay, so goodness gracious. Yeah, because Thielen used his dog tag action to move up. That was not smart. Now we get to move. Fields is still alive. So here we go. Oh, look. I was smart. I did 2 soldiers may move and move again. Here we go. 1 move, 2 move. They may move and move again. Bam. And bam. Whew. That's it. We got 1 out. The Americans survived the patrol. Ooh. That was good. I mean, you could play it out, but I got 1 out. You know, yay. We won. We got an American out of Area C. So the patrol is over. Ah, my goodness. And we said, yeah, we found a bunch of bad guys. Well, let's kind of wrap up here. I had completely forgotten how to play because it's been a while. Read the rules, and as you play, things start to come back. I think that's mostly correct. Some of the questions I had, I answered myself as we played, and the hand-to-hand, yeah, that would be the only thing is, you said it, because the wording is kind of weird, because it says you take and set aside for initiative an amount of cards equal to your draw, because you want to see, like, you know, the initiative. So you took, like, he had 2 cards, the leader had 4, so I took 6 cards, but it doesn't say if I discard those cards at the end of that phase. So they would end up like a huge stack of initiative cards, potentially. So that's the only thing I'm not entirely clear on then, at this point, is initiative for that. And then, yeah, initiative is the hand-to-hand combat. That is bad. That is deadly, because you apply all those damage results. So that means in one fight, a lot of those guys could end up just being dead. That hex could, I keep calling it a hex, but that square could just wipe itself out. Which, yeah, that could be really bad. But otherwise, yeah, so good. I love the randomness to it. Makes for very interesting play. And as a solo game, actually I think having it set up that way, where you have to pick based on the phase actions what you do, I think that actually really works well for a solo player. It's kind of scripted. For a face-to-face game, still completely doable, still completely playable that way. I just know that for some people, that really starts to feel limited what you can do. You're limited to what you can do in a phase. And if you don't draw the right cards, you might feel like, you know, analysis paralysis. Like, what can I do? I'm just pulling cards and I don't get to do any action, so it feels like you're behind the power curve. But as a solo play, that's actually not too bad. I think that actually helps quite a bit as a solo player. So yeah, I'm totally loving it. The next couple maps I think are kind of small. then eventually the maps get bigger and start using all the tiles. Yeah, so I'll probably play this again closer to, probably play it on like, yeah, we'll probably do a special D-Day recording. I don't know what my hours at work are, but if I can, I'll do a D-Day game and play another match. I love it. I think it's fun. So yeah, if you've played this before, you have comments and you want to share things, and if you still found, you know, some rules mistakes, you know, share it. I may have answered some questions as the video played. I know sometimes people, which is cool, they'll type comments as they watch the video, and they'll say, oh, you did this wrong, and then later they'll come back and edit it and be like, oh, you corrected it. So yeah, please continue to do that, and that's fine if I correct it as I play. I think that's still a good call out for the comments. That way, as people are watching, they can look for those mistakes, and then yeah, if I correct it or you correct it, fantastic. So thank you all as a community. Plus, if you watch this all the way to the end, thank you for watching all the way to the end. But yeah, we've passed 2,000 subscribers. That's crazy cool. So I guess this would be a, you know, for 2,000 subscriber game. Yay! I really appreciate it. It's a great community that we have. I love the community we have. We share answers, share comments, we share rules, mistakes that I make, help each other learn games, and then share tips and share new games to try out. So I really appreciate the little community that we have, and I thank you for that. I'm hoping we get 2,000 more. I'd love to see that someday. But until then, thank you for watching this one, and I'll see you on the next one.